It's the hardest working man in the Young Democrats. My brother Jovan, what's up, man? How you, brother?
How are you guys? Thank you for having me. Such a pleasure to be here. Hi,
Yes,
Lorraine.
yes.
AJ.
I was reminding Damon. I said I remember you from the early days of WVOX, WFAS. I remember you from Noel's show, and yeah. I'm like, and I've been watching your progression. I don't always get, because I'm so busy. I'm the editor. I do all the right.
Absolutely.
I don't sleep. So, but I do pay attention to those who are doing things, and I've been watching your progression over these 6 years, and I'm definitely proud of you, young man. Just keep
Thank
doing
you.
what you're doing.
Thank you so much.
Keep making a difference. Keep. It's good to see. It's like, some of those older. I ain't ancient or nothing, but some of those older guys love to see that there's some young people. You know what I'm saying about the carry the torch.
Absolutely. Yeah. Definitely.
For those, let me just. I want to read out, because I'm not going to remember this. I just want to read out some of Jovan's titles. President of the New York State Young Democrats, Chair of the Youth Caucus for New York State Democratic Committee, New York State, Executive Director of the Westchester County Committee, Northeast Regional Director for the Young Democrats of America. He's also a professional master methodologist, freelance campaign manager.
Much like AJ, I don't sleep either. Too much work to be done.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Well, congratulations on all your successes.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Lorraine. I appreciate it so much.
So, go ahead. Let's kick it off, Lorraine.
You know what? I want to start with the county, because this is like Westchester.
Let's do it.
You are officially the executive director of the Westchester County Democratic Committee.
This is true.
What does that mean?
It means that I am essentially I do all of the execution. Anything that the county believes should be done, whether it's leadership with our new chairwoman, Suzanne Berger from the town of Greenberg, or if it's anything that the body believes is necessary, I assist and help with the secretary, the treasurer, the first vice chair, and the chair, and I execute all the plans that we need to get done. And I am the right hand to Suzanne. I am the left hand to everybody else. So I get CC'd on every email. I send out emails throughout the night. And honestly, I communicate with each and every chair to the point where they're already tired of me. So the executive director does almost a little bit of everything. If I ever wanted to run for chair, I now know what to do to get there, because as executive director, I'm getting a firsthand experience and a firsthand lesson on how to properly run a county committee.
So if I wanted to run for a county seat, do I go to you or do I go to Suzanne?
Well, first, if you're running for a county seat, you should definitely check with your town, village, or city chairs, and pick their brains. I know you're from Yonkers, former councilwoman, so it's definitely reaching out to Tom Meyer and see what he thinks, and then also.
No, I'm not saying me. I'm not saying me per se. I'm saying anybody. I'm not running for anything.
Of course, but I'm saying, as if you were from Yonkers, you would reach out to Tom Meyer, senior. And then
you have the conversation with Tommy Meyer, and Tommy Meyer have the conversation with you.
It could go either way. You can come to Suzanne and I, and we would facilitate a conversation with Tom Meyer Sr., or you come to Tom Meyer Sr. and he'll facilitate the conversation with the rest of us. We really work in conjunction and hand in hand with our our city, village, and town committees. So we are the combination of them. Our body is their individual bodies. So that's how that works. And we really try not to too much overstep, but we do, county legislators are important to us. next year will be a very busy year for the county committee. We have George Latimer up. We have Tim Idoni up. We're also going to have every single seat for county legislator up. So it's going to be a busy year for us.
Okay.
So I'm trying to do this. I got my hands. I can't free both my hands. We don't have in the radio station. We have an applause button. We don't have an applause button. But in sign language, you have to use both your hands. This is applause. Yeah. This is applause and say for both. Yeah, with both your hands. Yeah. So we're clapping for you. This is a clapping. We don't have an official clap noise though. But yeah.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
No, definitely. Well, so what got you into, there's not a lot. First of all, how old are you? For people that don't know.
I am roughly a couple months shy of the age of 30, and I'm
okay.
Young man.
Okay. So what made you want to get into politics at this age? I mean, at an early age. There's a lot of people in your generation that don't want nothing to do with politics. Right. You know what I'm saying? So what made you want to get engaged?
Honestly, it really was understanding and learning more about it. I learned a lot about politics. I admired a lot of local politicians, but the real understanding of it was I was a very people person, in elementary school in Trinity in New Rochelle. Trinity Elementary School, I had a lot of teachers, referred to me as the mayor. I was a personal person. I loved talking to folks. If someone was in trouble, I wanted to be there helping that person. I wanted to be a part of fixing a problem or creating a solution. And everyone started calling me the mayor. It was, hey, the mayor's coming. It was all a funny joke until one day I looked up and I said, what the hell does the mayor do? So I really educated myself and learned what the mayor does, and then learned about county legislator. And then when I got to middle school at Isaac E. Young, we had a really good civics program, and I got into politics, or at least school politics. At Isaac E. Young, I was the 6th grade and 8th grade class president. Through them, I got to be a county legislator for a day. I got to be a mayor for a day, and I got to experience firsthand somewhat of the troubles and the excitements that the mayor goes through. I cut a ribbon before I was in high school. I did a lot of the ceremonial things. I didn't have much of the headaches that our local governments have because I was only there for a day. I think everything, the stars were aligned the days that I walked in. But, I was a county legislator for a day. I was a mayor for a day. And I really learned firsthand about sitting in the chair and being in the seat. And then I educated myself in high school even further, learned about Shirley Chisholm, and then I learned all about bringing a folding chair to the table. So once I got to college, it was, full steam ahead, college, Young Democrats. And then once I left college and entered into the Young Democrats, it was full steam ahead, no looking back. This is what I knew I wanted to do, not because I wanted to be elected, because I wanted to be effective and helpful in the community that raised me. They say a village raises a child. And, I had my mom and my dad. I was mainly raised by my mother and my grandmothers. My dad is in my life, just wasn't fully the way I thought I was expecting him to be. But you learn how to adapt. And then the community surrounding this is New Rochelle really raised me. And I've learned so much. New Rochelle has given me chances. When we first started talking, we talked about Bill O'Shaughnessy and WVOX, another great chance for me to find my step and learn something and experience something. I know AJ and Damon, you guys have your own show there. It was just shy, I think, you started a couple months before I left. And I was so devastated to hear that I did not have an opportunity to produce and help you guys out with your show. But I've made so many great connections through Whitney Radio, and I'm blessed for it. But to answer your question and to wrap this up, really, I learned from a young age civics. I was listening to your show. I know we don't teach it as much in schools anymore, but I learned about it because people took the time out to really put some things in my ear and, whisper some things. And then I went home and learned about it. And then I experienced those things firsthand. And then I knew exactly what I needed to do with my life.
You made my case that I make often, the importance of teaching civics, not just to educate. You come out with a young educated electorate. You know what I'm saying? Informed
Absolutely.
voters and engaged. Because we have a lot of young people that don't want to get involved, but unnecessarily. I was on a Zoom call recently about a candidate that was going to be running for office. And one of the things she was saying is the reason she's running is a lot of people there, they don't know what the job is. They don't understand the job and the position and the title and what they're supposed to do. And, we need people in there that do. But we definitely need our young people, because movements with the Black Lives Matter, back in the civil rights, we just lost John Lewis. But if you look back when he was crossing the bridge, he was in his it was him and his brother. He was 16 or something like that. Like when he got involved with Martin Luther King, you know what I'm saying? He was 16, and
he met Dr. King while in college. Yeah,
right. And he would. It's the young people that move us forward. You know what I'm saying? Or y'all are the future. So it's good to have young people engaged in what's going on and learning, and you definitely represent that. Thank you. Wait, isn't one of your username the Prince of 914 or something like that? Was it?
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
did I see that? Yes.
While I was at
when you said
WVOX,
people calling you the mayor, I always see the Prince. Yeah.
So while I was at WVOX, I actually I created this character called the Prince of Westchester, and it just stuck, and I kept going, and no one told me to stop doing it, so I kept it going. And I'm gonna have to change it sooner or later, but I love it. I love it.
Well, with that name, I'm glad that you got it, because one day you will be the equivalent of the king. Like, you know what I'm saying? So,
here's hoping.
We need our leaders. Yeah, we need our leaders, We got to start, but you're off to a good start. I mean, I don't know half of the stuff you do, but I know everywhere I go, people like I said, when I went to Noel's show on FAS. Yeah. One of the things she was telling me, you got to meet. She was talking about you. You got to meet Jovan. You got to meet this one. You got to meet that one. And she was bigging you up. And then I was somewhere else, and they were like, "Yeah, do you know Jovan?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, like your name is." Through the account, people know who you are. People are watching.
I've honestly been blessed to have so many great mentors in my life. Noelle Delaco is like a sister to me. I don't necessarily know where I would be if it was not for her guidance and leadership through some very difficult and tough times. So I'm glad that she's praising me, but she helped build the person that she praises. So shout out to her.
Yeah, she had me come up before COVID, come up and speak to the College of Westchester for their Black History program. It was me, the mayor of Peekskill, and Michelle Nichols, the head of Girls Inc. Westchester, the executive director, I guess. And it was that was definitely I definitely enjoyed that. Yeah, I was supposed to go back up again, but then COVID hit, and then nobody went nowhere after that. So
no. Guys, I've been watching your show, and I know you had the young lady from the Working Families Party on WFP. I want to just shout out to the WFP family. They do some great work in their own party, and then they also do some great work extending into the Democratic Party. We really do need them, and I think they need us as well. They really help tap into the progressive and the really democratic principles that we sometimes forget we have. So shout out to them. I know you guys had a super robust conversation, and I really just want to give you guys some kudos, if I can, on bringing on an array of voices. You have 1 second you have the state leader for the WFP, and then 2 seconds later you have the New York State Young Democrats president on, and the two are, although two different parties, one of the same minds. It really really is great that you guys are bringing on so many different voices, and I really appreciate that.
So Jovan, my brother, you could whisper in some of those Democrats' ear to lower the state mandate. so they should put it back to 50,000. Offline, brother, offline. But you can say, hey,
I will do what I can for you, Mr. Jones.
So we can keep these. Yeah. I was laughing. I was like, damn, he's falling right into it, right? but all love, man. It's all love. But I mean, we need these minor parties, man. And I think I know you it's above your grade level, brother. I get it. But we need these minor parties to continue to do to do the work that they do, and we need them to stay around, and that is going to be a major uphill battle for a lot of minor parties come around election time, man.
To survive,
just survive. And I think we got to just have the conversation. We just, because if we support them and we know that they support a lot of the candidates that's on the Democratic ticket. I mean, one hand should wash wash another, man.
Absolutely. I mean, listen, they played a massive role in a lot of, and I'm just putting my young Dem hat on for a second. They play a tremendous and massive role in helping elect young people to office, which is necessary. AJ said, we need the young people in. Well, we also got to embrace the young people. And that's one thing I intend to do as executive director for the county. But that's one thing I've been doing for years as a leader in the Young Dems for the state. There are so many young, talented individuals. Mondaire Jones, since we're in Westchester, everyone knows who he is. Right. Everyone loves his enthusiasm and embraces that. But we have young people all throughout the state. Michelle Hinchy upstate in the capital region is a young woman running upstate. Richie Torres over in the Bronx, young person. Yes. Richie Torres is the definition of young gets it done, because he started at such a young age as a council person in the city, which was almost unheard of. And then he's now taking his talents from council to Congress. Young people, this is what we're talking about. Look at what AOC did in the Bronx, and Queens. We're looking at an energized electorate that is embracing young people. We just need to ensure that the parties are also embracing young people. AJ said we are the future. I've stopped people, and the only reason I didn't stop AJ is because I love him. We stop people and say, listen, we're not the future.
We're now.
We're now. Because you need a snap.
Very good.
You need young people at this very moment. The time and the time shift is shifting, it's changing. And it's so necessary to bring young, energetic people into the fold, not just into the party, but into elected spaces, into chambers and halls of government, because that's where the effect, that's where all the effect happens. That's where change happens. Bringing them into Congress, bringing them into mayor's office, Kamal Johnson upstate in Hudson, New York, young black man in Hudson, New York, the mayor of Ithaca, half black, young person from upstate. New York is really the driver right now of endorsing and embracing young people and putting them in chambers and positions of power to make a real difference, an honest to good real difference. And they're bringing our voices to the table, which we were laughed at. I love Shirley Chisholm. She said, bring a folding chair. Many of us have brought a folding chair to those tables, and our ideas still have yet to make it to the table. But now we have electeds in places where they not only bring our voices to the table, it's a priority now. We're going to do this. Either you're going to help us, work with us, or get the hell out the way while we steamroll this ahead.
Absolutely.
We rather you with us. This is the energy.
You have no way of knowing that I'm working on a book on the generational shift. And everything you just said right now, I'm literally going to play this and dictate all of that and add that, what you
As
just said
long
is
as you
like,
spell my name correct, we're good.
absolutely,
Exactly.
absolutely, of course.
Exactly.
But I just like you. What you just said, like that's perfect. Like if you knew that I was working on this, like you just gave me like you just lit a fire under me just now. To
I
get that
gave
book.
you a whole chapter. I want to be credited. Make sure you get my
Absolutely.
good side for the photo, and we'll be
Absolutely.
okay.
Absolutely. I'll make sure you read it. I'll send you whatever I wrote. Before so you get to see it.
Absolutely.
But yeah, man. We need, and when I say you are the future, and I don't mean that your time you have to wait. I mean like I'm 54. I'll be 55 in a couple of months. Like I would love to, be a John Lewis, and I'm doing this to the day I'm out the door, and I live that long or longer. But you are the future of whatever this is going to be. Whatever, it's not going to be us. I mean, we're doing what we're doing now, but you're going to be the future of wherever this ends up going, because it usually goes beyond what we can imagine. You know what I'm saying? So
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean,
that's what I mean when I say you are the future.
You
What's your
mentioned.
ultimate goal? What's your ultimate goal, Jovan?
Ooh. I mean, listen, I'm not going to lie to you. I would love to represent the great District 16 in the halls of Congress. And
Where would that be for those that don't know? I'm sorry.
So and that's right now is Jamal Bowman. Incoming Jamal Bowman, outgoing is the Honorable Elliot Engel. I would love to go to Congress. I would love to go to Senate. I would love to make effective change for the people in my community, the people that raised me, for the people that built me to the person that stands before you today. I think that is the end game. But while I'm still preparing myself for that adventure, it's really building the party to make it inclusive. Honestly, really and truly, that's my goal right now: inclusive and diversity, bringing unique voices, an array of voices to the party, because we're missing that in a lot of places. And I'm glad I got to, through this opportunity as being the ED, bring a new voice and bring a young Black voice to the table, which we haven't. I mean, I'm not going to say we haven't seen. Tajon Nelson, who is, in my eyes, brilliant.
Yeah.
I absolutely adore her. She was a young person that came into the county party under Reggie Lafayette and has stayed and has really shaped and begun to shape and help shape a county party that is inclusive, so I can step in and help her and build from what she's begun and take her lead and run with it as well. So
Yeah,
that's the goal now and the goal in the future.
Can I say something, Damon, before you do?
Of course.
I wanted to say something about what you said earlier, but what you just mentioned about Tajon, my problem with, if anything, with Reggie Lafayette was my same problem with Ernie Davis and Maureen Walker. Like, they hold these positions for a long time, and they don't always groom somebody. Like, I believe in Mount Vernon, we wouldn't have the controller problems if Maureen Walker had. I mean, Maureen would have endorsed her number 2, Javon Boxhill. If Reggie would have endorsed her, like, step back, don't run, but pushed her, and put his support behind her, we would have younger blood to go forward. And I think that's what's problem. You talked about the young people, speaking to the young people and reaching them. That's the problem with the older generation. Sometimes they want to hold on so long. And then, so they told my generation to hold up, wait your turn, wait your turn, wait your turn. And then your generation's like, the hell with that. We're not, my generation didn't really fully get our turn. And y'all are like, y'all just gonna kick in the door, like B, kicking the door, waving the 4-4. I'm coming through.
Coming through one way or another. It's either you're gonna allow us to plead our case, or you're gonna stand in our way. And we don't want to. We're not here to be rabble rousers. We're not here to turn the party upside down. We're not even here to cause trouble, bad trouble. We're always here to cause good trouble. But we're here to really ensure that the voices of our generation and our peers and those under us are heard and understood, because right now you're seeing the generation of 9/11, and I say that because I know exactly where I was when 9/11 happened, but people 6 years younger than me can't say the same. So I'm under the belief that the generation of 9/11 will not only protect the generations before us, but we're going to prepare for the generations after us. And we're really taking that into consideration. Say what you want about AOC, but she is pushing agendas for the now, which will affect the future in a dramatic way. The Green New Deal environmentally prepares us for years to come. Years to come. We're talking generations, because there'll be an earth to actually protect and live upon. So, young people really are going to be the next John Lewis's. The young people are going to be the next Nancy Pelosi's. These are the people. Young people will be the next Chuck Schumer's. John Lewis, Chuck Schumer, Nancy Pelosi. They started their political careers as young Dems. A lot of people don't know that. Chuck Schumer. I don't know if you ever had the opportunity to speak to him, but I consider him a good friend. Every time we talk, he tells me the story of how he got his start while he was up in Massachusetts at college, protesting the war. But he did it as a young person. He did it as a registered young Democrat. We need to have the now registered young Democrats pushing through and becoming the next Chuck Schumer, the next AOC. AOC needs help. We gotta send help to the squad. And New York did that. We're gonna send Mondaire Jones. We're gonna send Jamal Bowman. We're gonna send these energized young activists, advocates to the halls of power where change is decided. Beautiful.
The room where it happens.
Hey, listen, I'm sitting here listening to this brother. He's the next congressman in one of these districts. I'm going to tell you this right now. But you know what? And
he's Mitch McConnell's worst nightmare.
Yeah, exactly. But there's two things, right? I'm really disappointed. Tajon should have been chair.
That's what I'm saying.
And Reggie and everybody else, they dropped the ball, right? And brother, you don't, please just look straight when I say some things so you don't get phone calls about it, right? Yeah.
He's trying to get me in trouble.
Was you agreeing with Damon? Right? But but I'm just saying that, because you picked her up, AJ picked her up, and I was upset, right? Because they had an opportunity to one, make history, and one, put somebody in there that knew what the hell they were doing. That's and that was that sister. All right.
Let me just remind folks that we didn't lose Tajon.
No.
is still our secretary. She still, has a hefty hand in the county party. She's still at the county board of elections. She's still relevant, and she's still present.
Exactly.
So we didn't lose Tajon. I want to tell you that now before I get the phone calls. Wait,
right.
But did she even run? Did she run?
She did.
Okay.
And I was kind of upset because I think she would have done that position justice. The second thing, man, we're looking at the AOCs, we're looking at the Mondairs, we're looking at the Jamals, we're looking at the other brother that won in the
Bronx,
right, in the congressional district,
Richie.
right,
Richie
and we're seeing a lot of this, and we're but also we're also seeing a pushback of the old guard in the Democratic Party to some extent in these primaries, because these people were not supported. They were not supported by the old guard. In your position, my brother, are you going to play? Is there going to be a tightrope? Because there's still a group, right, of the better word, lack of a better word, the old guard, right? You know, and that really don't want the AOCs, don't want the Mondaire Joneses, don't want the Jamal Bowmans to be a part of the Democratic Party or have some type
Thank
of
you for saying that. Thank you for saying
have
that.
some type of stronghold, you know, and is that going to put you? I mean, because what you're saying, you know, you're saying some great stuff, right? You're saying some real progressive stuff. You're saying some real progressive change that is in the party. But the reality is, right? So these progressive, even Biaggi, right? You know, I mean, you know, the reality is that there are certain people that are still in control of the party that don't want to see what you're talking about.
So
No, I just got to bring it up because you brought it up and it was good, but the reality is there are some people that don't want to see what you're talking about.
I mean, the reality is there's some people that don't want to see me in any position. There's that reality in almost everything we do, right?
Right.
But I'm not alone as the young voice on the county committee. There are a number of other young people who will back me and work with me to push youth into leadership. You saw
Good
a record
people
number.
too. Good people.
And good people, yeah. You saw a record number of young people actually get up and run for something. You know, in Westchester, we saw a large number of young people stand up, follow the leads of those before them, and seek office. Alex Rothmeyer out of White Plains ran hell of a race, for the 93rd Assembly District, which was previously held by David Buchwald. Ran a hell of a race. And when you look at that and then you look at Mondaire, you know that it's a possibility. It's not just a dream that a young person has. It's at an arm's length of becoming a reality. And I'm sure there'll be some pushback. I'm sure. I'm expecting it. I'm ready
Have
for
you
it.
had any pushback yet?
I have not. I cannot say I have.
Well,
I've
not that you
only
know
received
about.
love and support.
Yes, and not that you know about yet.
Yes, not that I know
Yeah,
about, but
because there
but
be the pushback from behind the scene that you don't get to know yet. You know, then you
Until
find out
like,
that
until
they've
like
been
10
going on for a couple
years
of years now.
as ED,
So are
there's very little things that I don't know.
Yeah.
so are you following your agenda or you are following their agenda? Or are you guys have the same agenda?
I was elected. I was elected by the county committee's district leaders. I'm going to follow what the folks that elected me to do, but I'm also not going to be blinded by the lights and the sounds and the bells and whistles. I understand I'm coming in as a young black man who this is the first time a young black man has ever stepped into the county role into this position as ED. Tejon built a map. I'm gonna build footsteps, and through that, we're going to really open the door for more young black leadership. First of all, but also open the door for just young leadership in general. I'm gonna come in with my ideas. They're going to be shiny. They're going to be new. They're going to be progressive. They're going to be liberal. And I think y'all know that I have absolutely no problem getting my voice across and getting my voice through. And if that means I'm sitting at a table until 11 p.m., well, I got nothing else to do. Let's have this conversation. Let's do this now. Let's not table it until next meeting and then table it to the next meeting and then table it to the next meeting until we forget about it, because I'm not going to forget about it. Let's have the conversation. This is what we need to do. This is why I believe we need what we need. And if you disagree, explain it. I'm going to come to the table. Compromise is a real thing, guys. And I'm not a stranger to it. I'm not a stranger to it, but I'm not going to just sit here and lose my entire self to match someone else who doesn't necessarily believe everything I believe in. There's compromise. There's a happy medium, and I will do my best to work with each and every county chair, each and every vice chair, secretary, treasurer, whoever it may be, to really ensure that young people are heard. I ensure that my personal life agenda is understood, because a lot of you guys, AJ, Damon, you guys have probably been in my shoes before me. And, when it comes down to being a young Black person, no one understands it except for a young and old Black person. An old Black person who was young, and a young Black person who is experiencing it now. And I'm telling you, it's not getting easier. You would think,
exactly.
You would think it gets a little better. It still sucks out here. When I tell people my story, they're shocked. So I'll regale you just a little bit. So I was stopped and frisked in Manhattan. We're talking East 19th Street. We're talking blocks away from Grand Central Station. Stopped and frisked. And a lot of people don't know this. I actually got my start in acting. And I was still performing, and I was still acting, and still doing musical theater at the time. And I got stopped and frisked. And I was on my way to rehearsal in the city, and I was listening to the show that we were doing, which was Cabaret. And I'm listening to it and walking around. I'm wearing a college sweatshirt on, and I have my hood up. It's chilly outside. It's the middle of September when September was actually the fall. And not just an extension of the summer. And I was stopped and frisked randomly. The most random thing. Not bothering a soul, bopping to my music, my musical theater, and, literal harassment from the NYPD. Shocked, dismayed, did not know what to do for the rest of the day. It was insane. And when I tell you insane, I really do mean insane, because I was not expecting that level of harassment from people I've always thought highly of. I thought cops were there to serve and protect. And I think there's a lot of good cops out there, but I think I've unfortunately had my share of running into the wrong ones throughout my years of experience. And I hope that I don't have to do that again. But I can't forget my own personal agenda, because I can't forget the experiences that I've worked on. I can't forget who I am, what I've done, what things have done to me. I can't forget those things, because it's why we all do this, right? It's exactly why we all do this. It's why we live this life. And it's hell sometimes, but it's still necessary. I can't change my past. I can better my future, and I can better the future of younger people so they don't have to experience the same thing.
I have a question for you, but before your question,
sure.
Lorraine, with the old comment. Remember, you're just months younger than me, and you're older than David. So I just wanted to throw that out there with the old comment.
Man.
Put that in perspective. Secondly, I wanted to say, the one of the benefits COVID has, you got to find a shining star in everything. Unlike WVOX and unlike in the mix where we do the show, we're not literally to a time. So we, when we got good interviews like this, we can extend it a little bit to continue the conversation. Now, the question for you is, we were talking about young people and having to engage the young people. What would you say to your older counterparts and leadership, what they need to do to engage the youth? Why that is important? How can they engage? Because some of them just don't know. Oh, they forgot. But how do they engage the youth, and why they need to, and what the danger is by not engaging them? Speak to that.
So I would tell my older counterparts as simple as this. When you were my age, you were looking for a seat at the table. You found your seat. I need you to help the next generation find theirs. Because without them, your legacy is nothing but a speck in history. You need someone to take the reins right after you're done. You need someone who's not going to pause your legacy, but continue it. And I'll tell him this, listen, Donald Trump has been the greatest reason why you need to help elect the next generation. We could have had a continuation of a lot of President Obama's good, healthy legislation. But instead, we rolled back those healthy legislations, those good things that he did in office those many years. And what we got accomplished in 8 years was undone in 4 years.
3, yeah.
3.
Yeah.
Even less, right? Even less.
It was undone in 3.
Even most of it was undone in the first year through executive orders.
Right.
And that's another story. But let Donald Trump be your example as to why you need the next generation. You need to build the next generation because you don't want to pause your legacy. You don't want your legacy rolled back. And you want to ensure that your kids and your grandkids have the same opportunities that you had. And without the generation between your grandkids and you, there's nothing. There's nothing. There's opportunity to fail. And Democrats don't need to fail right now. Democrats need to succeed at every level.
Can I just add to that? I think Democrats need to listen to the grassroots, because I don't, with all respect to Hillary Clinton, they did not listen to the grassroots that in those states that needed to be won, or people took it as the lesser of two evils to the point, and I tell everybody, I truly believe if Bernie Sanders was the nominee, he would have beat Trump. Regardless of his agenda was far more to the left than Hillary was, and he forced Hillary to the left through the primary, and he might have been the Democratic nominee if some of the states had open primaries, because a lot of the independents that had his following couldn't vote in the Democratic.
He actually won in I think almost all of the states that did have open primaries. He won in all of those states.
He really he showed us where we missed the mark.
Yeah, exactly. And I think moving forward, I think the Democratic Party on a local level and at the national, they have to listen to the people that's on the street, right? They have to listen to the people that have these conversations with the grassroots that that they ordinary don't get to see all the time, right? And so I agree with you, but they have to listen, man, and I'm glad that you're there in your position to make them listen, and be able to put a lot of these ideas in what you see as a young person, because believe it or not, 10 years ago, 12 years ago, when I was in my late 30s and early 40s, they didn't listen, right? And it was a struggle. It was a struggle. So, I'm glad that brothers are like you were there. I'm glad Tejan is still working within the party and doing what she needs to do, because we have people now that's going to give a different look and different way the party needs to go. We don't get it right now, we're never going to get it right.
We're going to get it right. I mean, listen, we about that life, as I would like to say. We're going to get it right.
I say that because I'm an old man, and just from experience, when you look at things, you're like, man, if they don't get this, if they don't take this opportunity now, we got to fight for another 30 years to get back to the opportunity.
We're ready for the fight. We have a great chair. I do want to commend. I want to commend the former chair. 16 years is a long time. He's done some work. He's done some great work, commendable work. But Suzanne Berger is also about that life. She's ready for the fight. She has hit the ground running. She's only been elected for 2 weeks, and we're already doing a fundraiser for Biden and Harris. We did a rally earlier today with Pete Harcum and Stephanie Keegan, who are running up county. We're not taking a breath. This is what I was talking about earlier. We're doing nothing but continuing and improving while continuing the work done in prior. We're going full steam ahead, and we're not stopping. The county committee is ready. The state Young Democrats in every county is ready. When I say we're ready, we point us to the direction of anything, and we got you. We are so prepared and so ready to lead. It's not even a joke.
One of my favorite songs in the musical, the Hamilton, the play, the musical, was when the Aaron Burr character was saying that he was always talking about Hamilton, and he was saying he wanted to get into the room where it happens. We really don't know what happened because we weren't involved. We weren't let into the room where it happens. Well, I say that, I use that to lead up to this. I do wish Suzanne Berger the best, but I am so encouraged that you will be in the room where it happens to make sure that our voice is heard in that room, and we're represented in that room. You know what I'm saying? No matter how great a job she does, you will be in the room where it happens to make sure we're represented, and I'm that encourages me a lot.
Thank you. I mean, I'm gonna do my best to make y'all proud. That's all I can say.
Okay, I would be remiss if I didn't say you're the executive director for all people. So don't forget your brown brothers and sisters, because we need too. We need to be at that table. You got Jonathan. You got a whole bunch of good people in there now.
Jonathan's a great friend of mine. I look forward to working with him and serving with him. We're going to do great things. When I said we have a long list of young people on this board, I meant it. Jonathan from the Greenberg, Andrew Booter from New Rochelle, Tajon Nelson from Mount Vernon. There is a squad in the Westchester County Committee. We have our own squad, and we're ready as the congressional squad to get things done. I can't say it more, how prepared some of us are to really lead. And I thank you guys for your sentiments, and I really do pray that I do everything I can to really, really make y'all proud. And I hope when I come back in a year, if invited again, y'all have excellent words to say about the job that we've done over the next year.
Brother,
just so we clear,
open door policy for you, man.
Right. Just so we clear, I do include Jonathan in that, and when he's on the show, I will tell him as well. You know what I'm saying? I do include that.
You got a whole bunch. You got quite a few Latinos in there.
I got that, and when they're on the show, I will tell them. But I was directing it to him.
But I'm not asking you. I'm talking to Jovan.
Yeah, yeah, we're glad. I'm sorry, I cut Damon off. When Damon was saying the open door policy, we hope that you utilize us as that, place to get that voice out. And again, I don't know if you write anything and you just want to write an editorial every now and then to address certain issues from your generation, because we need voices. We need voices from your generation to keep this thing going. So anytime you feel free that you want to jot something down or something hit you, please, you know how to contact me. Please,
absolutely. Get it to me. I can stop sending my op-eds to the Times and send it to you guys now.
Absolutely,
I know the printing.
Just add a song, man. Just add, and you can show the rest of the county board that it's okay to come on People Before Politics.
Yo, listen, I'm not gonna
It's all right.
I remember y'all when y'all was at your raw, when y'all really started going at it, and maybe the first year when y'all in the studio, and I was like, whoo, these guys I can't go on that show just yet. I gotta work up to that. Boy, let me tell you. I've been wanting to come on this show for years. But when y'all first started, I was like, let me wait a minute. Let me get my bearings straight. Let me get a position where I can go on and say something. But listen, you guys keep it real. You guys keep it funky. Y'all keep it raw. Y'all not scared. You guys come with what you know. You don't come out your ass like a lot of other people. And it's something that a lot of people like myself admire because I love the real. I love the real. Let's be real about things. Let's be serious about things. Let's have some fun. As you know, I like to joke sometimes,
Right.
but when I'm in the room, I become a whole other person. I'm here doing a job for the people that elected me, and that's what that is. But you listen, you guys have made a reputation of being real and raw. And if some people can't handle it, well, that's on them. They're just not as real as y'all. But I will definitely tell my friends in the county committee to come on. You guys are a hell of a great time, and I'm having a blast. I really am.
Hey, Jovan, man, and this is like I'm not on Sundays, a lot because I'm off tonight, so I'm actually, people forget that I do work, right? And I think tonight was a beautiful night, man. We've had two intelligent young black people on tonight from different political parties in Westchester County, right? It just shows and which that not only we have the black vote, but we have black power, right? That we can and let me tell you, somebody's gonna catch it because I quoted tonight, and other people are gonna catch it and say, wait a minute, man. We're seeing young black people in control of political parties in Westchester on black media. You know what that means, man? You know the power that we have to change our reality and our lifestyles and our communities. Like, we can do it. We ain't gotta beg nobody, right? We don't have to beg the racist folk to say, Black Lives Matter.
Talk about it.
We can show that Black Lives Matter to ourselves by taking control of our destiny, man. This is where it's at, brother. This is where it's at.
Listen, there's two digital platforms that I try to never miss. One is People for Politics, and the second is Uncle Roland. So y'all coming through on the come through. So I'm just blessed to be here, man. And I'll piggyback off that and say when you show that there are young black people in positions of power, you show that Black Lives Matter on a whole nother scale.
Right.
I've spoken at, I think, about 7 rallies and protests now in multiple capacities. And people are really understanding the message. People are really getting it. People are looking to educate themselves on a level that we haven't seen before. And it's a blessing. Mm-hmm. It sucks that it took them this long to do it. But let's not harp on the past, and let's get excited about the future that we could have with new partners who are as equally energized as we are.
Yes.
You had a couple of comments. Keisha Skipper said, "Hey, Jovan," and Lois Bastian, Bastin, said, "Bravo, Mr. Richards." And there were a few others that I can't pull up right now that they had mentioned your name. So people are checking you out and agree. Some people have agreed with some of the comments that you made. We're just looking forward to see where God takes you and the work that you do and all of that. And this is part of the job I enjoy when I get to document your story.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Like this is part of the job that I do like. And I get to document people like your story. And for people, hopefully there's some people that may not have known you that now know who you are and know that. And for everybody listening, if you don't know, look at the spelling of his name, check him out, look for him. If you have not seen his name or heard his voice, you will. You know what I'm saying? So if you're seeing this for the first time, make note of this young man right here. You're going to see a lot of him. and I'm proud to be involved in helping to bring that to people. Anything we didn't ask you that you want people to know, maybe social media so they can follow you or anything?
Yeah, absolutely. So as AJ alluded to earlier today, my name on social media is not Jovan. It's at the Prince 914. It was a character I created some time ago that it stuck. So I absolutely love the character. I love who I get to become when I get to play that character every once in a while. So at the Prince 914. Also, if you want to follow my mixology journey, for those that don't know, I am a master mixologist and a training sommelier. So liquor beverages. I've worked for companies like New York Yankees and the New Jersey Devils, and I've designed some of the beverage menus for the New York Yankee Stadium as well as the Prudential Center. So Senator Mixologist on Instagram to check out some of the creations I've made over the years.
So I can't let you just walk away now. You brought that up. Talk a little bit about that whole. How did that come about? Talk about that a little bit.
So my grandfather, my mom's side of the family, my mom's father's side of the family is from the great islands of the USVI, U.S. Virgin Islands, St. Thomas and St. John to be specific. And my grandfather was a humongous bartender back in the day, back in his day. And my mom learned from him. I learned from my mom. It is passed hands and generations. And I decided that I can't just learn from them. I have to be better than them because that's who I am. So they all stopped at bartenders and they won a couple of competitions here and there. So I stepped my game up, became a master mixologist, and also won a couple of competitions, and then started to design menus for humongous names like the Yankees and the Devils. And now they're like, hey, how do I make this? And they're forgetting, but they come to me because now I'm the master and I've surpassed the teachers. They're not too happy about it. But my mom generally never forgets to tell me, you'll never forget where you learned it from and who you got it from. The talent came from here. You just decided to do more with it. And I was like, of course I did. That's the son you raised, baby. I can't just stop at one. I got to go for the gold. The silver's not great. Show me some of the gold.
Great. That's
absolutely
wonderful. That's wonderful. Hey, if you ever want to write an op-ed on drinking,
right? That's what I was gonna say. Maybe the holiday time. Best
holiday drinks. What are great holiday drinks or something like that, man?
Please, I got you guys. I got you.
Please write something. I think people will enjoy that.
Got you.
I think people will definitely enjoy that. Now and then we all enjoy a good drink here and there.
Absolutely.
I quit. I had to. Jovan. Jovan. My son is. Can you hear me?
Huh?
It's coming in a little fuzzy. I'm gonna run to get my battery pack. Give me 2 seconds.
Did we lose him?
Hello? Where did it?
Did we lose him? I see Damon.
Is Jovan still here?
That's what I'm asking you. Did we lose him?
Yeah.
I think his mic is muted. I don't know.
No, I gotta go upstairs real quick. Jovan is changing his battery.
Huh?
Yep.
Jovan.
Yep.
Jovan, I just wanted to tell you. Can you hear me?
I can.
Oh, okay. My son is your age. He's an African-American young activist in New York City. I mean, really, really big-time activist. He's not into politics, but he would be your counterpart because he's your shoulder in the streets. And I just want to say, as a mom, man, I'm proud of you. Very proud of you.
Got it. Well, I commend your son. I hope to see him in the fight when I take my fights to the city, and I hope we get to link up sooner or later. And I look forward to collaborating with him.
Yeah, we just want to thank you for coming on, for taking the time. I've learned to really be appreciative of time. You know, I've had money, I've lost money, I've spent lots of money, I'll get money again. But the one thing I've learned that I'll never get back again is time. So I try to be appreciative of people's time. You didn't have to be here and you chose to. We greatly appreciate that. And we, again, express the open door policy. You want something that you want to discuss, you holler at us, we get you on. And then, you know, just even if it's like an issue in the community that's going on and you want to weigh in on it, whether it was writing or being on the show, please utilize us, and we will continue to follow and support what you're doing, and anything we can do. You know, Black Westchester People Before Politics, man, just call us, man.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much. I really do appreciate it. Like I said, I've been trying to get on this show, or wanted to get on this show for quite some time now. I'm glad I got to do it. I'm thrilled of how it went, and I will definitely be reaching out when the county committee or the Young Dems are doing some great things. I do want to tell people to look out for us. October 18th, the New York State Young Democrats are throwing a virtual Get Out the Vote Early rally, because in New York State, because Democrats have won, because Democrats voted, Democrats won, we now have early voting. So folks out there, please, if you haven't voted by mail, vote early, get up to vote. Biden-Harris. We have so many great young people throughout the ballot upstate in Hudson Valley, and of course right here at home in our great county of Westchester. Please, folks, civic duty, yes, but civic responsibility more so. Get out the vote. Vote, vote, vote. If you do vote for Trump, just understand that you're going to get more of what you have. And nobody wants that. He's saying there's a threat to the suburbs, and he's right. There is a threat to the suburbs. It's him, and people like his cronies over there, Rob Astorino, or as the Westchester Dems call him, Dis Astorino. We don't need New York's translator in Albany. You know, Rob Astorino's job right now is to translate and soften the great things that his president says. We hear his president. We see his tweets. We know what's going on. Let's call that what it is. We know what's going on. We don't need a translator to tell us what he thinks he's trying to say. Trump is telling you what he's saying. We don't need Rob Astorino to translate it. What we need is Rob Astorino to get out the way of progression. And that's what Pete Harkin will do on November 3rd when Pete Harkin wins.
Absolutely. Damon, any last words?
Nah, man, I want to thank the brother for coming on, and thank you, man, and thank you for doing what you do, and you're gonna continue to do it. Like AJ said, you're always welcome to come on the show, brother. You know, this is what this was about, man. This is a great show. I'm proud to see the two young, intelligent, young Black people, man, in control of politics, you know, and you know, y'all might be on a different car, but you're driving down the same road, and I think we have to realize that and work together, and you know, this is great, brother. Anytime, tell the county board, don't be scared. You had a lot of fun, man. They all come on. Shit, they're some of them going to watch the show. They tell them to come on, you know, we all right. We are.
I'll let them know.
Exactly.
I'll let them know. Thank you guys so much for having me. It's been a pleasure. You guys have a phenomenal Sunday. Enjoy.
Thank you, brother.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Enjoy.